So now we've got the rabbit skinned and we've washed the pelt inside and out and made sure that we got any blood spots off. And I put 1 cup of the aluminum sulfate and 1 cup of salt in 2 gallons of water. So I'm just mixing this up really good. And what's going to happen next is this pelt is going to go in there. I usually put it in with the hair on the inside. And we're going to let this sit for 24 hours in the solution and check it, because we're going to want to try and get all this dermis stuff off. We're going to peel all that off, this part, so it's just the leathery hide. If it sits for 24 hours and it's not enough that this stuff is peeling off. Hi, I'm Sunny Lindley with Sundial Arts and Urban Homestead, and this is part 2 of how to skin an Angora rabbit and tan the hide, the do-it-yourself style. So we've already skinned the rabbit and put it down in the solution, which I gave you the recipe for, and I'm just checking on it. I've been using this stick here to move it around, stir it in here. This has actually been in for 2 days. I said to do it for 24 hours and check it, but my experience has been that usually 2 days is better. So I'm going to go ahead and just get this pulled up out of here. Now, all you really need for this next step of the process is a towel, because the rest you can pretty much do with your hands. You probably shouldn't get this solution on your hands, but I've been doing it and it doesn't bother my hands, so I recommend wearing gloves, but I guess I'm a bit of a rebel. So I just take the pelt on my lap. It's got a little debris in it from the grass, but that's no big deal. So to know if it's ready, you're just going to start picking on this dermis, and if it's coming right off, then it's ready. All this fatty stuff like this. Sometimes you can tell where I'm pulling up the fat. Whoops. Did it start over? Wow, that was amazing. So this is the dermis part, and you can tell the skin is underneath. So in a spot like this, I'll actually just rip it with my fingernail and then start to peel it off. And the more of this that you get off and the more cleanly you get it off, the nicer your pelt is going to be in the end. And sometimes you can get a hold of a piece and just kind of get a good run going. So I would say that this is ready. It's been soaking long enough. That was 2 days. You can see how it's peeling off pretty smooth. So we don't really need to keep the video running for this whole process. You kind of get the idea here. You're just pulling off all of this dermis so that you're down to the skin. This is what you want the whole thing to look like when it's done. No more of this funky stuff. You want it all to look like this. So it's a little more tricky when you get around to like these edges. You're going to want to really take your time and pick those carefully. And sometimes you just have to work on it for a little while, put it back in the solution, come back and work on it a little more because your fingers get a little tired. That's the general idea. And after you get all of the skin picked off, you're going to put it back in the solution for another 7 days. And you're going to want to stir it up every day to keep it well diluted. Leave it in there for 7 days, and then I'll make another video to show you what to do when you take it out. Thanks for joining me.